that's something that might come back to haunt Ismail Muwendo in tonight's fight. Keep an eye on that.
It's for the USA Mid-America Featherweight title, which is vacant. For the vacant USA Mid-America Featherweight title, and let's introduce our fighters. Scheduled for 8 rounds in the Super Featherweight division. In the blue corner, he weighed in at 132 pounds. His pro record, 18 wins and only 6 losses. From St. Louis, Missouri, please welcome Leon Bobo. His opponent in the blue corner, also wearing gray trunks with black trim. He weighed in at 131 pounds. His pro record is perfect. 10 wins, no losses. From Minneapolis, please welcome Ismail.
It's an important fight. You know exactly what I expect. Be a good clean fight. Protect yourself at all times.
Scott Tolzman making his second trip to the ring tonight.
Well, this fight's going to tell me everything I've been wondering about Ismail Muwendo. They call him the sharpshooter, and rightfully so. I was discussing with the founder of MinnesotaBoxing.com, Jesse Kelly, friend and colleague of mine, about Ismail, who has the fastest hands in the state. Some people say it's Muwendo. And, you know, until Wilshon Boxley kind of stepped back from the scene and has kind of been inactive, I probably would have given that title to him, but now I would have to say Muwendo might be in that seat, but more importantly, he's definitely the most accurate fighter in Minnesota. You'll see that tonight unless he has a bad night. Again, he's fighting a southpaw, tricky guy in Leon Bobo, but Muwendo does not waste punches. Very accurate, very deadly puncher as far as accuracy and putting combinations together.
Cameraman Dan Cole joining us.
Yes, good to be back.
Again.
Here we are,
Here he is.
halfway into the round, and glad I know both fighters, because otherwise the trunks would be some confusion. They're both wearing gray trunks with black trim tonight.
We consider those dusty trunks.
Well, one of them may be before it's over. Bobo fighting out the southpaw stance, flicks out a jab, while Muwendo keeps both of his hands held up high in front of his face. So we start, as I say, about a minute into the first round.
I think as we get deeper into the card here, you're kind of starting to see the difference in experience with some of these fighters. Bobo hasn't been successful lately, but you can still see those, you know, the seasoned veteran aspect of Bobo's game. That's going to be a tough task for Muwendo to overcome.
Yeah, both fighters a little tentative here, just feeling each other out a little bit, trying to see almost a break for the first guy to make the first move. Now, Bobo throwing a combination of punches that are blocked by Ismail, and Ismail now pushes him back, throws a right hand, avoided by Bobo, another right hand, and that goes over the top of the head.
Does Muwendo have the build of a fighter or what? He's built like a cobra.
Muwendo now backs Bobo into the corner, throws a right hand and misses, and then Bobo ties him up around the waist. And referee Mark Nelson separates the two fighters, gives some instructions to Muwendo, and now both fighters meet again at the center of the ring. Now a left hand and then followed by a right by Ismail. And now Bobo spins him around into the corner, and then Ismail works his way back out into the middle of the ring.
You mentioned the experience of Bobo. You can see it. He's not buying any of the feints that Muwendo's using, the shoulder feints, head shrugs. He's not buying any of them.
Now Ismail throwing combinations, but Bobo covering up very well, so none of the punches do any damage whatsoever. Another couple of combinations blocked by Bobo.
I like what I'm seeing from Bobo so far. Been able to offset the power and the speed of Ismail Muwendo with his craft.
All it really takes sometimes to offset a young guy like Ismail Muwendo, you're an experienced fighter and you're a southpaw. All you got to do is step right, step left, step right, step. These guys are trained so much on their footwork and how to fight a southpaw, and it screws them up. It messes with their timing. And you pop out, get your punches off and spin out, and you hit rewind and restart all over again.
I agree.
And that would be the way that he can confuse Muwendo in the early opening rounds. If I'm his corner, that's what I'm telling him to do. And then by the time you put him in a little bit of a deficit, you're reaching. You're off your game plan a bit, and then Muwendo perhaps takes some unnecessary risks. Now that's what you're thinking if you're Bobo's corner. Again, we talked about, Dan, when you were up in the ring, that we've seen him before fight Wilton Hilario. That was when Hilario, you remember, was killing everybody.
Yep.
He was Minnesota's body snatcher. He'd hit you to the liver and you was over. And he could not stop Bobo. In fact, I only saw him hurt him once throughout that 8-round fight that they had. And Bobo knows how to frustrate a guy. He'll give you a lot of movement. He'll fight off the ropes. He'll hug you when he's hurt. Just when you start getting momentum, he'll tie you up and make you start over. Smart boxer. But yet now you throw in the southpaw twist, and everything's all backwards.
Here we are starting of round 2, and both fighters at the center of the ring, and Ismail forcing the action again, trying to throw a jab, and Bobo moving to his right to stay away from the right hand of Ismail Muwendo.
Is it fair to consider the Hilario-Bobo fight the beginning of Hilario's decline to an extent?
Yes, but not because of anything Bobo did. I mean, it's because of things Wilton Hilario did with his injuries that were always outside of the ring, between ankle injuries and elbow injuries and things of that nature. He's just never really been the same since.
Now Ismail trying to work the body and the head of Bobo, but Bobo was covering up very effectively. And now it looks like maybe Ismail was able to slip in one punch there. It comes downstairs, now back upstairs with a chopping right hand. But again, Bobo seems to be fending off most of the blows. There's a nice left hand, followed by a right, another left and another right. And now Bobo finally answers back and pushes Muwendo into the corner and starts to throw lefts and rights.
Muwendo doing a good job of getting around the long forearm guards of Bobo, leaning right over to his left and digging in that left hook to the body nicely.
As well as Bobo's defended, Muwendo has not wasted a lot of energy, and I'm impressed with that.
How did you guys see the first round?
That was tough.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty even round.
Would you score to draw, Jake Wagner?
I would.
I know you love to score draws.
I don't love scoring draws, but if the shoe fits, and I would score that a 10-10
That one
round.
could have been. You'd have to think in his hometown, Muwendo probably gets it on the cards.
That's a possibility. Again, this first round started out much like, second round started out much like the first one did, a little tentative from each fighter. A little bit of action early on, but now it's going to sort of slow down again with each fighter kind of just waiting to pick a shot, to pick his spots.
And for the fans watching at home, what Muwendo's doing is you're seeing him mess with Bobo's head. He's trying to feint him into making a mistake. Southpaws are always open for that straight right hand counter, and he's trying to get him to bite, thinking that he's about to throw a punch to get Bobo to open up. Just as I'm talking, I'm cursed. Fantastic body shot by Muwendo.
Exactly. Bobo goes down, he's right back up. I think that's the experience of a fighter knows he's hurt. Just take a knee and get your 8 seconds and try to get your breath back. Now Ismail works him into the corner. He's trying to see if he can close the deal.
Watch for fireworks. He's been hurt him to the body. Now Bobo's wondering if he's going to go back to the body, try to protect it. No, there's not going to be enough time. There's 10 seconds left. Muwendo's going to go after him. He's got him. Was that another body shot?
It was another body shot. It was hard to see because Bobo's back was to us. It looked like more of a glancing blow than anything. Yeah, I don't think he's getting back up. That's it. Fight's over.
Fastest I've ever seen him hurt. That's a great testimony of the accuracy and punching power of Ismail Muwendo. He wasn't getting a lot of opportunities with the defense and the movement of Bobo, and yet he'd make the most of it. He'd turn around, lean over to the left if he had to. Fine, I'll go around your forearms. I'll go around your elbows. I'll take it. I'm going to hurt you here. I'm going to get you to open up your gloves, and I'm going to hit you again.
The killer instinct of Ismail Muwendo reminds me a lot of that of Madison Miranda. Just feeding off of a weakened opponent. I think Muwendo saw that Bobo was weakened, and he really pounced on the opportunity.
That's a good observation, Brett. And, you know, for being such a young guy at age 24, he doesn't get overly excited. He just goes about his craft in the ring.
Yep.
Cool, calm, and collected.
You can see it in his body language.
talking to Justin Kelly, who had the opportunity to sit down and interview Ismail recently. Justin said he's a very humble guy. You know, he's an African import from Uganda. Very humble, soft-spoken, still learning the English language, but Justin was complimenting him on his punching power. He said that Ismail shook his head like a child, said, no, I don't think I'm that hard of a puncher. I'm really not. You know, I hurt my guys by timing them out right when they're not seeing it coming, but, you know, Bobo saw these coming. They just, the power was what hurt him.
Whatever it is, it's working.
Of the second round, the winner by knockout, and the new USA Mid-America Featherweight Champion, Muwendo!
Extremely impressive performance by Ismail Muwendo.
The patience is what really sold me.
Oh, absolutely, AKA maturity.
Yep, there weren't a lot of...